Bank now for the next half hour. We got Steve Clements in. Good to see Steve. And Chase Burken in for the program. Chase, we'll get started with you. So how would you end up being an ag lender?
So I guess in June it'll be my third year with Citizens First Bank, and I started as a teller while I was in college for a summer job, and then as summer progressed, I transitioned into a ag credit analyst role, and I was given the opportunity to work remotely while I finished up my last 2 years of college, and then May when I graduated, I transitioned to my ag lender role.
You look like you just graduated from high school, Chase.
A couple years
Do you
ago.
get that? Do you get that?
Yep.
You look so young.
I'm 22.
Oh, don't be afraid about that. So Burken, everybody knows the name.
Yep.
Definitely farmers in the area. Why did you decide to get into banking rather than into farming?
I am still in farming.
Okay.
But having some spending money for other projects on the farm never hurt, because farming, it's hard to get into right now as a young individual.
So do you actually have some land then, or what?
I don't have any land, but me and my brother have cattle together.
Okay.
But we help our dad farm his land and land he rents.
So growing up, of course, you were always around
Yep.
ag. So what is it that you enjoy about being a farmer?
Being outside, seeing the animals grow and how it turns into produce and food we consume, and just giving back to the land.
Were you involved with FFA or anything like that?
Not FFA, but 4-H. I was in 4-H
Okay.
as long as I could be.
Didn't need to be a future farmer. You already were a
Yep,
farmer.
yep.
So you did.
Yeah, I was into too many things in high school, and I couldn't get FFA into my schedule.
So how does it benefit you to have that farming background when you're dealing as an ag lender? I think that's got to give you a step up.
It does. Knowing what people are talking about helps a lot, because there's a lot of things I do on a daily basis at home that I can apply to what I do at the bank and when talking to our customers.
Steve, talk about having him on board.
It's been great. So, I grew up in the area as well, around ag, but not in it. And that's pretty apparent. You know, I understand it from a textbook standpoint. I went to the ag school, but for someone who's, boots on the ground and actually, if I went to work for Chase, I would be a laborer. He'd tell me what to do every day. And that's the difference. And the farmers know it. The farming community is pretty tight-knit. It's a niche industry. When we had the opportunity or pitched the opportunity to Chase to stay on board and not get lured away at college by other, big firms and stuff, because he does have an accounting background as well, which is solid, to pair with the farming side. It was a great opportunity for the bank to fill a big need for us, because we're not a substantially large ag lender in the area, but we do have a good sizable portfolio, and you got to have someone who knows the ins and outs and can get out. And we have a couple others at the bank. Kelly Guzman-Smith does a good job with our ag. Keith Hook's been a long-time banker. He knows the ag, but Chase is a new, fresh face and gets out and knows a lot of people, and the Burken name, I think, travels well in the county, so that helps.
Got to get your picks. Super Bowl coming up, of course, on the 8th. Seattle, nobody's picked New England yet. What about you guys?
So I'm leaning towards New England.
Okay.
I think Vrabel's a coach who's been there. I think Drake Mays had a kind of a lull here the last month. I think they're going to come out and surprise. Seattle's defense is really good, and it's going to be probably it'll be a decent game. I think the previous game was better, The Patriots-Denver game was boring.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the Patriots might come out and get another one, and I know people don't like to see that, but I like the Patriots, during their run. I like to see the dominance, so that's where I'm leaning.
And Bill Belichick didn't get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on the first ballot.
Isn't that a
A
terrible?
lot of talk about that.
Terrible. How are you part of 8 Super Bowl championships and not a first ballot? So.
Yeah, that's for sure. Chase, what about you? Who do you like?
I'm going to have to go with the New England Patriots as well.
Okay. You a football fan? You got a team?
Not high school, college football. I don't watch much NFL.
Okay. Where did you go to college at?
I went to the University of Iowa.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk about their ag program. Or was it more of an accounting background for you there?
Accounting there. They have no ag programs at the university.
So how come you decided on Iowa?
Because I was given the opportunity to be a direct admit to the business school out there. I didn't have to do any of the pre-business track.
And I see here you did remote work for the bank.
Yep.
How did that work out?
Pretty well, actually, because I had, through my concurrent enrollment I was given through Northeast, I had a year of gen eds done through CCC. So I really only had class 2 or 3 days a week. So the other time I was out in my apartment working away.
So how did that work for the bank to have him online doing this kind of work?
The big, I mean, not many good things came out of COVID, but what did is, technological upgrades got us in the ability to be able to do remote work in the sense that, Chase was really one of our first full-time remote work. So we knew his schedule. We worked with him. We didn't want him to try to figure out how to put 40 hours in a week knowing that he had school. But if he could be logged in from noon to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then, he worked with Kelly at the bank, worked on the credits on the back end, that did the number crunching for us. And then if there was times he was going to be in the area and we had customer visits that he could go to or events, and he would drive back for him. But for the most part, we let him work on the, all the nuts and bolts from behind the scenes. And it was a good deal for us because we got our claws into him and kept him engaged so we could offer him a job when he graduated.
So you got an office now?
I do.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. So what benefit did you get from the ability to work remotely that maybe you can carry over now that you're seeing these people?
Goodness. I honestly, anything. If I can be out in the field working with our customers, I can take my laptop with me, and being able to go through their information with them at their farm instead of having to bring them into the bank and go over their.
We try to do a good job of meeting the customers where they're at. We'd like them to come into the bank. It's just not as much traffic as we've seen in years past. So having the ability to go, sit in their shop or, sit in the tractor if that's what he needs to do, and be able to look things up, either via his phone or his computer is helpful for us and our customers because it doesn't take them away from what they need to do with their daily task of their business. And so it's beneficial.
I don't have much of an ag background, but to me, it seems like an industry that there are so many variables. I mean, the weather, the market, different things like that. I mean, you got a lot on your plate, Chase.
Yeah, it changes by the minute some days. Grain market might look good right now. We'll go look at it when we get back to the office. It could be a totally different story. Or same goes with the cattle markets right now.
So talk about equipment, because my goodness, equipment is so expensive.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy what new equipment costs right now, and even for well-maintained used equipment, it's an investment for sure.
Is that primarily what your lending is with the equipment or land, or what are you all doing?
Yeah, all of the above. Land, equipment. We have a few cattle producers, so lending for cattle, getting them onto the farm, lending for inputs, so your chemicals, your seed, all the fertilizer you use on the daily. So yeah, everything in ag we have on a daily basis.
I can see the bank expanding with this young man on that front.
That's right. Yeah, and we have a couple. Like I said, we don't have a large portfolio, but we have a few that are into hogs, and we have a few that are dairy, and but having Chase on board and being able to go out and scour the county, meet with these individuals, gives us a better opportunity to say, hey, we have someone who knows the industry, is willing to work with you, and see your operation through and help you expand or grow or just hold the line of whatever you need to do. So it's been a good addition for us, and what we're trying to do strategically as we continue to grow the bank.
Do you get an opportunity to go out with him sometimes, Steve?
I don't know. I mean, I have.
Yeah.
I don't go as much anymore with my role change in the last couple years. But yeah, I go on a couple of farm visits occasionally, or visits to our business customers, and
do you miss that a little bit?
I do, yeah.
Kind of being anchored into the office?
I do, yeah, because that's where I cut my teeth, was on the business lending side of banking, and being out and going to customers' job sites, or if they're building a building, or if they're putting up a structure, and getting to see all that happen. And I don't do it as much now. My schedule's freeing up with clearing up some things and making some changes at the bank, so I hope to do that more. But I do miss it, because that's the people part of the job is what's fun about what we do.
Visiting with Steve Clements, Chase Burken. We'll have more, but first we're going to be taking a break for the weather.
Have we missed you? We're Kramer Construction of Clinton, and we're in your neighborhood, helping one of your neighbors with a new roof, siding, deck, doors, windows, and remodeling. We are a family-owned business. Our office is located at 2020 Comanche Avenue, have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau for the last 7 years, and are CertainTeed certified. Does your home need a makeover? Then call Kramer Construction at 563-613-3437 for a free estimate.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Awesome Car Wash.
Happy Friday. We are still going to be cold today with highs only in the teens, but we will be quiet. There is going to be building clouds with a little bit of a breeze with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. Still in store for a cold night, but we'll start to see warming temperatures into the weekend. Highs go to the 20s for Saturday. I'm Storm Track 8 meteorologist Morgan Strackbine.
Currently, we have overcast skies and a temperature of 12 degrees. Winds are out of the north at 10 miles per hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Awesome Car Wash.
Introducing the ultimate car care experience, Awesome Car Wash. Your touchless automatic car wash open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Say goodbye to dirt and grime. Their state-of-the-art system provides a touchless wash that's gentle yet effective. Include a ceramic sealant coating for long-lasting protection that keeps your vehicle looking awesome longer. Conveniently located across from Purina on Manufacturing Drive in Clinton, Awesome Car Wash. Drive in today and experience the difference.
It's not just a home. It's a fully connected life. When work flows effortlessly, when friends connect from anywhere, when your house runs on smart everything, and being offline isn't an option, Extreme is the connection you need. Get Extreme 1 gig internet with no data caps, Eero Wi-Fi, and equipment, all for $65 a month for 2 years. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
Men's Day on KROS right now. Citizens First Bank President Steve Clements and CEO. Two titles.
Two titles, yeah.
Let's talk about digital banking.
So the digital banking is where we've, I think, grown the most in the last couple of years. The bank started in 2000 with the one location. We've grown to 3. We haven't changed that footprint in a long time, physical footprint. And what we have invested in is the digital side, because that's where the world's gone. Everyone's kind of bank is in their pocket these days. And we've grown the bank. We're now just north of $350 million in assets, coming from zero just 25 years ago. So it's been a good trajectory. It's come with its challenges. The digital banking is not an easy, it's ever changing. But it gives us the opportunity to, bank customers that maybe just live on the outside of Clinton that just don't come in every day for daily transactions. And then it's helped us significantly kind of increase our security side of things, because there's a lot of fraud that's out there. Yeah. And we have to look daily at the transactions that go through and make sure that everything's legit, because when you're not seeing that person face to face with you coming in the bank through the digital channels, we just have to be much more cautious.
So you have an individual or individuals who are pretty much in charge of that area, Steve?
Yeah, so we have quite a few. So we, as a community bank as ourselves, we have to partner with other, vendors. We don't do a lot of that in-house. We have in-house talent that maybe manages it, but we have third parties that either control our core systems or our IT systems, and then we have individual bankers that specialize in setting up the accounts and setting up the digital transfers and making sure that payments get transferred and made and wires go out like they're supposed to. So we do have a dedicated handful that are specialized in it, subject matter experts, and then we have a couple other core individuals that make sure the machine runs like it's supposed to, because there's some things that the public doesn't understand. If our banking system's down or if an alert goes out, they think it's us, and it's not always us. It's, it might be a national issue with Microsoft, and that just impacts us. And then we have to, play damage control and figure out how to make sure people can get their money and get their transfers and get everything they want to do, because they get so accustomed to how convenient it is. And then when it stops, it's like, well, I can't just drive to the bank, like you used to. Yeah. It's just kind of a different atmosphere. So we do a good job. The digital branch that we have, the digital footprint we have, is expanded and grown and is going to continue. I don't see us, trying to go build, 100 branches in the next 100 years, because I think the market is calling for the convenience of digital banking.
Do you see more pros than cons with this area?
It's definitely more pros. It definitely makes our customers' lives easier to be able to move money and manage their finances without having to physically balance a checkbook or come in or do some of those things. But there's a lot of cons that you have to weigh in, because the money moves so fast now. It can be gone, and if you don't notice it, and then you call a week later and say, well, hey, I'm missing $10,000 out of my account, it's really hard for us to try to stop. And so we have an entire department that helps track those things and mitigate as much as we can. But faster money moving around does make it for faster fraud.
Oh, speaking of money, Chase, you got to pick out the song. So what did you pick out, young man?
We got Money by...
See yourself staying at Citizens for the long haul, young man?
Right now, yes.
Very good, very good. And you are optimistic about the farm industry.
Very.
Very good. I would think so. Farmers are always so optimistic.
You have to be.
I was going to say you have to be. Community involvement for Citizens First Bank. You guys seem to be very good at that.
Seems to be what we're known for. We strive for that. The bank was put in place for the community 25 years ago. Our board continues to give us that direction to do that, to be active, be, the Mardi Gras parade, or go to ribbon cuttings, or, we have a ton of employees that are just on Rotary or Sawmill or the different boards. And it's not because we force them, it's because they want to do it. We give them the opportunity to, find a passion project for them and be involved. And that's just how we give back to the community. So it's always who we've been and who we'll continue to be.
You did want to talk before we let you go about, you've got an upcoming fraud education session.
We do. So Comanche Library, we're going to partner with the Comanche Library and the Comanche Police Department. There's a Friends of the Comanche Police and a Friends of the Comanche Library. It's groups that wanted to put a fraud seminar together. That's February 25th at 10 a.m. We'll host that down in Comanche. It's an ongoing, we continue to see fraud in all sorts of ways, whether it's people coming in and trying to cash checks, or digitally, like we just spoke about. We're going to have Randy Meyer come with us and speak. He deals with a lot of it. When we can't get through to people, we have to get him in place. We do prevent a lot of fraud, a lot more than we probably lose, but it's frustrating when you're working with customers who just don't want to believe what they're hearing, or they've sent $15,000 off to try to buy a car, or try to buy a boat or something, and then find out that it's not legitimate, and then we're trying to retrieve that. And we got a pretty short window to do that. A lot of banks don't. If you sent the money and you authorize it, it is what it is. We are not. We really work our tail off to try to get that money back for our customers, and then we try to host these events to just educate people to. If someone calls you asking questions, just hang up. If it's meant to be, the right person will reach out, or call your bank, or call your favorite banker and ask. So
February 25th, do we need to register for that at all, or?
Nope, just come. Yep, we'll have donuts, coffee, juice, and we'll educate you.
Very good. Thank you both for coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
The Rams moving forward, the big question is going to be about Matthew Stafford, and Sean McVay did not want to hear that question.
Do you expect Matthew Stafford to be back next season?
Yeah, if he still wants to play, what the hell kind of question is that?
I don't think it's a silly question.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the